Hey guys, this is Brandon's Baseball Vlogs. I'm going to do the sports interview with my friend Randy. We're going to talk about how spring training is going, about the injuries that have been happening, and how DJ LeMahieu just got a grade 1 or grade 2 calf hamstring strain in his calf, and how he's going to miss significant time, and how the Yankees should call up George Lombard Jr., who's 19 years old, who's been having a great spring training. And honestly, I think the Yankees should. We're going to be also talking about how the Yankees are overcoming these injuries, even though they're really annoying that we keep having injuries, but still. And about how we're 24 days away from opening day. We're 23 days away from opening day, 23 or 22. And about how Soto's doing okay with the Mets in his spring training with the Mets, and how he's doing okay, and how the Mets and Yankees series are going to be awesome. Red Sox, Yankees, Astros, Yankees. We're going to be talking about all of that, and we're going to be also talking about how the players of each team are doing really good, and how we're also going to be how the teams are going to be very successful and everything. And here is my friend Randy. Here's my friend Randy.
What's up? Got me some Starbucks.
Nice. I want to know, what's your honest opinion on the DJ LeMahieu news? His MRI came back, and thankfully nothing broke, but he has a strain, a grade 1 or grade 2 calf hamstring strain. But because of that, he's going to miss significant time. But he's honestly a great player. I have his postseason 2019 jersey. He's an AL batting title champion and an NL batting title champion. He's the first one to have 2 titles in both leagues. The first player to do it in both leagues. And since 2019 and 2020, since he won it those 2 years, he hasn't been the same player. He hasn't been able to stay healthy since, but he's been trying hard every day to stay healthy, and this is just a big blow to him.
I mean, he played for what team before he was Yankee?
He was with the Colorado Rockies for a really long time, and and with the Cubs and Padres, but he's a really great contact hitter. He gets more base hits more than...
I have to say about contact hitters. Okay, so about contact hitters. They are
DJ LeMahieu.
That's what I'm saying. Like, their position has really good value. So contact hitters in sports and baseball, in general, they're really value in the game of baseball. But mostly really good contact hitters in baseball, they are very injury prone in a certain amount of their time playing the sport, which, like you said, he's a very decent, good player.
Yeah, he is really great.
Not taking that away from him. He's trying to stay healthy. That's a good, positive motive.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to stay healthy. But it's like when you're playing a sport, how are you going to stay healthy? Because things happen on the field, on the court, on the rink. You name it. Anything happens. So it's not really possible when you're in, preseason or spring training, you name it. So it's not really easy to stay that healthy when you're making a play. So I'm not taking anything away from him. He's a decent player. He's doing his best to stay healthy.
Yeah.
Trying his hardest to be healthy. I mean, spring training, hamstring, worst injury to have in a spring training game.
Yeah, and DJ LeMahieu is he reminds me of Jeter, if you don't know why. DJ LeMahieu, I have his postseason jersey. I remember in 2019, he was a versatile player. He played third base, second base, first base. He played basically all of the infield except for shortstop. And he is a great contact hitter. He always got more base hits, more RBIs, more singles, more doubles, more singles, triples, walks, doubles, and everything, and he even stole bases, and he had a career high in 26 home runs in 2019. But he was really a great player. He was like our MVP player that year.
That's amazing. So, if he was the MVP player that year,
I wish he won it though.
what if he done it that year?
He did it that year, and he did it 2020, and won the AL batting title.
That's an amazing accomplishment to win the batting tournament in 2 different teams.
For the National League and for the American League. The first player ever.
That's an accomplishment. Not a lot of people can do that. When a batting, that's the home run derby shit stuff. It's like, not a lot of people can do that on the National League and in the American League. That's rare. That's very rare to do.
Yep.
That's one of the lifetime to ever happen.
That's true.
Hats off to him for doing that on 2 different leagues, the National and the American. Hats off to him. That's an amazing accomplishment. But top of that, like, who are the other people that have done that in National and the American?
No other player in baseball has ever done.
So he broke history of doing that.
Yep.
So he's the very first player to do that.
In both leagues.
That's crazy. Like, if you look at it, where in many sports, there's the Eastern Conference in NBA, and then there's the Western Conference. Then,
hello.
You can say it now, Will. Not Will, Randy.
Then there's in the National Football League, there's the NFC North and the NFC South, and then there's the AFC South and the AFC North.
Mm-hmm.
So it's different parts of the NFC and the AFC.
It's true.
So and then I don't really give a dang about the NHL, like Eastern Conference, Western Conference, because that's all garbage. Because I was never fond of the NHL All-Star Game, stuff like that, because it wasn't that spot on, but the top is.
Mm-hmm.
But the MLB All-Star Games
is awesome.
Top notch. They go way all out on jerseys on MLB All-Star Games. That and also the NBA and also the NFL. They go really spot on the Pro Bowl jerseys. Like, I had one with Michael Vick, and that jersey was so cool. I wish I still had it, but like, that was the coolest Pro Bowl jersey I ever had. Just the color base and the design of the Pro Bowl jersey, it's just spot on amazing how the All-Star games in certain sports are just oscillized. Like you can't even get, maybe the jerseys are way expensive and you want it, but there are some sellers on eBay that will give you a decent deal on a certain jersey.
That's true. And you were saying about DJ LeMahieu also.
Oh, isn't he injured again?
Yes.
He's going to be gone for a while, but he's going to be back, locked and loaded, ready to freaking hit some more runs.
Yeah.
He never gets up.
Hey guys, me and Randy did the first half of the sports interview about DJ LeMahieu, the All-Star game, and everything in their All-Star jerseys. Now, our special guest, our friend Will Mitchell, is going to be joining us right now to talk about spring training, baseball, and about LeMahieu and his thoughts about LeMahieu, and about how the Yankees still have a lot of depth and how we could easily make other moves to help the team until Stanton, LeMahieu, and Gil come back from injury. Here's my friend Will. Here's my friend Will and Randy.
Alright, so Stanton, he's coming back in a week or so.
Yep.
Of what doctors told Aaron Boone and Cashman from this week's up in New York. So yeah, he's gonna be back.
That's true.
Definitely hitting some bombers again.
That's true.
LeMahieu, I don't know. He had an iffy season last year, so
It was all right, not as bad, but he still had an okay season.
He had a decent season.
He just has to Focus on rehabbing his calf and everything.
All I have to say, as long as he doesn't do steroids, he's good.
Yeah, he's never done steroids ever.
We don't want to go down that route, Randy.
That's true.
Saying, like I'm just saying in general, not a lot of players do it, but some players do steroids after the injuries just because they want a full recovery. I mean, there is a medication steroids that's different from injection.
Like in baseball, they say medical steroids are okay to use.
That's saying if you're using medical steroids, that's fine, but the illegal enhanced steroids, that's not fine.
Yeah. And I want to know, you guys want to know what your guys' honest opinion is about how Stanton had a postseason for the history last year with 7 home runs in the postseason last year, over 24 RBIs, a .290 batting average, like 20 hits, and Stanton passed Babe Ruth, Reggie Jackson for the most home runs in postseason history for the Yankees and Yankees franchise history last year, and how this could be a big loss for Stanton and the Yankees because Stanton is going to be starting the season on the injured list.
I mean, if he gets better, since he's come out this week and he gets better
and rehab slowly,
probably he won't start on the injured list.
Aaron Boone announced he will.
God damn it, Aaron Boone.
And what is your guys' thought of the postseason he had for the histories last year?
Wow, that dude.
He carried us last year in the postseason.
He carried us, and then he and what's our shortstop's name?
Volpe.
Yeah, he's the one that hit the grand slam with 2 outs. So
yeah, he and Volpe carried us,
which made us win Game 4. But
and Randy, what is your thought about the history postseason that Stanton had for us last year?
I mean, he just gotta focus on his health. That's me.
True. And what is your thought about how Stanton passed Babe Ruth and Reggie Jackson for the most home runs and RBIs in postseason history in Yankees franchise history? What is your honest opinion on Stanton doing that, Randy?
I mean, that's amazing. I mean, records are made to be broken, so that's amazing.
And what do you think of it that he passed the great Bambino, who is a former Boston Red Sox, and Mr. October, Reggie Jackson?
I mean, records are made to be broken, like I said.
And Will, what is your thought of Stanton being the ALCS MVP and having a historic postseason?
Piggybacking on what Randy said, every record should be broken.
True.
Because Aaron Judge broke the home run record in 2022.
That's true.
He passed Babe Ruth's 60 home run. He passed
Roger Maris
61 home runs. Now Aaron Judge
has the record.
The title is 62. Is the American? Well, he holds the record without using steroids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's the first player.
Those who's breaking the record did use steroids, and yet again, no one gives two shits about them.
Yeah, and what were you gonna say, Randy, about Judge?
I want to say comments in the comment section. Who do you think, which team will come up and tie it up the record with the New York Yankees, or who do you think will tie it up and then beat the record? How many World Series the Yankees have? Just comment and give us your honest opinion. We would love to know that.
True. And I want to know this, you guys. How many wins do you think the Yankees are going to have this year? Because they're still looking to be the better team in the American League and going back to the World Series this year.
Well, I feel like the Yankees got screwed last World Series because, I mean, Juan Soto wasn't playing his best in his prime.
He wasn't.
So and he
Juan Soto fucked the Yankees over.
He blamed Aaron Judge, So, and he had the audacity to say on the Mets interview, like, "Oh, it's a team effort to win and lose." So, but you didn't say that when you lost the World Series with the Yankees.
And also, Andy Martino, who works for the Mets, he follows me on my blogs page. He said, I noticed this. He posted something. I commented on it, and I'll share it to you guys. Andy Martino said, Juan Soto is apparently sad and regretting leaving the Yankees, and he misses his former teammates.
I told you. I freaking told you.
What's he gonna do?
Once he left, he's gonna regret it.
And guess what? Some kid already took his jersey number away.
Yep.
And there's no way he's gonna.
And what do you guys think about the Yankees possibly calling up George Lombard Jr., who's 19 years old, to make his major league debut and to be in place of Stanton until Stanton comes back from injury? And literally how he's done amazing. He's hit 4 home runs and over 15 RBIs, getting more base hits, stolen bases, and has really great defense. And he's 19 years old. And the Yankees are considering making him make the roster.
So he's just out of high school then?
Yep.
They think they should do it.
It'd be the youngest player in history.
Well, that's the thing. When they...
Technically, no. We had a player who was 16 that was in the minor leagues.
I remember that, but still.
And that was one of our pitchers.
Yeah, but he
made it
did.
to the major leagues at 16, though. Well,
I know, but he joined the Yankees.
Well, they're saying no, he'll be the youngest. They're saying he'll be the youngest if he makes the big leagues.
Well, yeah.
That's what we're talking about. He made the 16-year-old made the minor leagues, but he didn't make it to the big leagues.
True, yeah.
And what do you guys think about the Yankees possibly stealing former Boston Red Sox player who's a free agent and a former Mets player, J.D. Martinez, who's a great power hitter and a World Series champion?
I mean, I also heard a rumor going around, and I don't think it's true or not, that Vladdy might be joining the Yankees.
The Yankees may actually get Vladimir Guerrero Jr. in a trade or possibly in free agency.
That's not bad.
Means they may steal him from the Blue Jays. And he wants to be a Blue Jay. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. said he wants to be a Blue Jay for life.
Well, the Blue Jays need to wake up and smell their Canadian frickin' syrup, their maple syrup and Canadian bacon, and re-sign that player.
Yeah, well, if the Blue Jays aren't going to do that, then...
Yankees, go get him.
I'm not trying to profile, but if a player trying to retire as a Blue Jay,
I'll sign better get him.
Re-sign him.
Yeah, and Vladdy Jr.
All the teams are going to sign him.
Yeah, and Vladdy Jr. also said, I don't mind talking to all 30 teams, but he also said, I wouldn't mind returning to the Blue Jays because we have a great core here with me, Bichette, and Springer, Kirk, and Max Scherzer, and all these other players. And literally, Vladdy said, I'm fine with coming back. Yeah, because I love this fan base.
I mean, he wants to come back, but how would the Blue Jays feel about him?
The Blue Jays love him.
If they loved him, they should have signed him by now.
He said, give me a contract till this deadline. They did. He didn't answer it till the next day and declined it. And now he may do the Aaron Judge. He may do the Aaron Judge route, which is go to free agency, talk with other teams, and then re-sign with the Blue Jays for a certain amount that they both agree on.
I mean, if he signs with other teams, that'd be good too.
Yeah, and they say because there's...
I hope he signs with the Mariners, because the Mariners need another
first baseman.
Griffey Jr.
Yeah.
The Mariners and the Miami Marlins need a lot of rebuilding.
They do.
Yeah.
Especially when Stanton left the Miami Marlins.
Seattle Mariner too.
Cano left the Yankees for the Mariners. I remember that.
Don't forget
Robinson Cano.
Well, no, he went to the Mets and then the...
No, he went to the Mariners first for a lot of money and then got traded from the Mariners to the Mets.
Yeah,
He
because...
didn't do jack squat for the Mets.
No, he didn't.
He
got
should stay with the Mariners.
He got busted for steroids with the Mariners and the Mets.
You know something funny? He was a World Series champion with the Yankees, and he fudged that up and went to the Mariners.
He should have stayed with the Yankees.
That's true.
Wait, he still plays, right?
He plays in the Dominican Baseball League.
He should stay with the Yankees. He would have helped us win a World Series.
He's 44 years old. And he's lost... Yeah,
no team is going to freaking sign a 44-year-old.
The only 44-year-old in baseball right now that a player has signed is Justin Verlander.
Well, he's a pitcher. That's different, though.
And he's really great. He's a Hall of Famer.
I think the last...
Oh, what the fuck you mean he's great?
I think
he spent He spent 1 year with the stupid New York Mets, and when the thing happened to him.
And then he went back to the Astros and dominated.
Yeah, but no.
He is on track to being a Hall of Famer. He's almost at 3,000 strikeouts.
But if you look,
he couldn't get his team to the World Series again.
Mm-hmm.
Here's this out. The last few Mets that were in their 40s. The last Met that played his last game was Adrian Martinez as a pitcher for the Mets. That was his last team he played for the New York teams. And then he went to the Phillies, which is the Mets' rivals.
That's true.
Got killed by the fucking Yankees.
Exactly. And what year was that?
2009.
Carlos Delgado was another.
Oh, yeah.
I was 8 years old that year.
In the World Series.
Yep.
No, Carlos Delgado was another former Met player that was a 40-year-old player.
I'd be fine with the Yankees-Phillies rematch.
He was a great freaking contact hitter. And then the last contact hitter that was in his 40s and retired as a full Met was David Wright.
That's true.
Early in his 40s was the spinal stenosis disease.
That's true. And what do you guys think about that Yankees-Phillies World Series matchup and the rivalry of the Yankees-Phillies, Yankees-Astros, Yankees-Red Sox, Dodgers-Mets, Dodgers-Braves, and the Mets and Phillies?
I mean, the only true rivalry between the Yankees is the Boston Red Sox. That's been going on for years.
True.
Since Babe Ruth got sold to the Yankees from the Red Sox first owner.
Well, also, don't forget, not only Babe Ruth, Johnny Damon was
where is he? Oh, yeah, both of them got sold.
Roger Clemens, a former pitcher.
And he's at Yankee spring training right now.
Well, Roger Clemens was a former Red Sox pitcher. Left the Red Sox, went to the Yankees, and got banned from playing in the MLB for steroids use, just like Barry Bonds.
True.
Exactly. Also, yeah. And then another
from Barry Bonds, Roger Clemens, from David Ortiz. Yes, David Ortiz was
Big Papa never got banned.
He never did.
No, I'm explaining why the difference from steroid use from non-steroid.
They proved that Big Papi David Ortiz never did.
You got Judge and Big Papi who never used steroids. They broke their records.
What happened? Okay, so Big Papi was drafted for the Minnesota Twins,
and he played with them for a little bit.
He played with them for a while. Then he got traded to the Red Sox,
and that's how he unlocked his swing.
As he started as a Twin in the Red Sox, he was skinny as a twig. But if you look at it, a lot of Dominican people, they eat a lot of food, so they bulk up for the fucking sports.
That's true.
So, if you look at it, the difference from when he started as a Twin, from his whole career as a Red Sox, you can see he gained weight. He didn't build muscle, he gained weight. So, the thing is, steroids is not supposed to gain a gut in your stomach. It's supposed to build muscle in your stomach and give you a six-pack or a 4-pack. Or it's supposed to build muscle on your forearm and your triceps.
That's true.
He didn't gain any muscle. And I love Dave Ortiz, one of my favorite players.
That's why I have one of his jerseys.
That's what I'm saying. The difference is from his starting from the Minnesota Twins as ending as a Red Sox, he just gained weight. So how in the world can you say gaining weight is steroid use?
It's not. I mean, if that was the truth, every fat people. Sorry, Brandon.
It's all right. I don't care.
Every fat person will be accused of using steroids. So,
like, to be honest, like, you can tell by the only way you can tell by steroid use is so much acne on your back and on your face.
And plus, David Ortiz is honestly one of the greatest players you could see in baseball. He had over 600 home runs, almost 700. And he won multiple World Series championships and AL MVPs. And he was a great leader. And even though he said he didn't want to be a leader, but I remember that speech that he gave to Boston after the terrorist attack in 2013. David Ortiz said, "This is our effing city, and nobody's going to dictate our freedom. Stay strong."
I remember that. That was the 2013 World Series, and
that was an amazing thing that he did.
If you look at it, like,
he fired up the fan base in that team that year.
That's the thing. He didn't want to be a leader because of how many people that was the Red Sox that used steroids. Manny Ramirez, Roger Clemens, former Red Sox, went to Yankees and then he used steroids use. And then he wanted to change the legacy of baseball from not using steroids. Like, yeah, he's a freaking hothead. I remember when he struck out, he took his freaking baseball bat and smashed the freaking phone in the dugout. I remember that.
I remember it too.
That was the Yankees and Red Sox.
No, that was the Orioles and Red Sox.
That was?
Yeah.
Yes.
It was the Orioles.
Yankee Stadium too?
No, he never did it.
No.
He respected the Yankees Stadium.
Well,
he said Yankee Stadium was his favorite.
The Yankees and Red Sox are huge rival teams. Both teams respect each other as good teams.
Did you? Okay, there's something I found out as like a story. I think it was a news article. I remember this. So you remember when the Yankee Stadium and the Shea Stadium, which former Mets Stadium, Shea Stadium before it was Citi Field?
Yes.
Whole controversy about the stadiums being made, and there was a whole diagram where there was a curse that the Yankees haven't been to a postseason and a World Series in such a long time since.
And then they got to it.
Because in 2009, that's when they beat the Phillies.
Why of that? Because there was a construction worker who thought was funny to dig up a hole and plant a freaking Red Sox jersey to curse the freaking Yankees so they can't make it to a World Series. And then next thing you know, that construction worker got fired and lost his job.
That's crazy. But what do you think of this? What do you think of the Yankees, Astros, but also the Mets and Phillies? Because the Mets and Phillies had never met up in the postseason until last year. That was the first time in history the Phillies and Mets played each other in the NLDS.
And the Mets won that. So
yep.
That's the thing. So the Mets can be great as long as they freaking get a good back roster. That's all I have to say.
And now you got to admit, they've got a good team. They just need to improve.
Now they do.
They just need to improve more of their pitching and more of their offense and stay healthy.
They just it's just like a team. They just need to stay healthy and play smart. That's all it is.
Yeah. And what do you guys think about this? The Yankees Brewers in opening day, and we're playing against our former player that we traded to the Brewers for Devin Williams. Nestor Cortez is starting for the Brewers that day against the Yankees.
I mean, are they playing Yankee Stadium? Or are they playing
yes, Yankee Stadium, opening day.
They get a standing ovation coming back home to the Yankee Stadium.
Yeah, he was a really good pitcher, just not in the postseason last year.
Who was?
Nestor, but I felt bad that he dealt with injuries a lot. But he was still one of our best players.
That's the thing about pitching, like, you're going to get rotator cuff injuries your whole career because you're launching the ball to strike out the batter. So, like, of course you're going to blow your arm out in your rotator cuff. That's what Pedro Martinez did. Because his whole career. Okay, so you look at it. The pitcher's position is the most hardest position to do ever in your lifetime as a baseball player. Like, yes, also other positions like first base, shortstop, second base, shortstop, from third base, shortstop, and then third base. Then you have left field, center field, and right field.
That's true.
Every position is a very difficult position to do because you have to play defense and you have to play smart.
Yeah.
But the most injuries is mainly the pitchers because they're fucking doing the most outrageous things. And sorry for my language, but that's what Pedro Martinez did in his Mets career. He was having a great career with the Mets, and he was going. I think he was going to retire as a Met, but until he broke his rotator cuff, and then the Mets are saying we're releasing you, or I think they traded him to the Phillies, and that's where he retired as a Philadelphia Philly.
Yep. And honestly, what do you guys think about the Yankees this year and the Alex Bregman to the Red Sox deal? Because Bregman, honestly, he's been doing much better since joining the Red Sox.
So did Bregman get traded to the Red Sox?
No. Remember I told you he signed with the Red Sox as a free agent. 3 years, $120 million, which is 40.
Like Bregman does return to the Houston Astros stadium. I feel he's going to get a standing ovation of coming back home.
He is. He was there for 8 seasons.
Or maybe
he's going to get booed.
He's going to have some kind of haters saying, "Oh, you betrayed us. You went to the Red Sox." But he gave you multiple World Series wins.
2 World Series championships and multiple postseason appearances. And most World Series appearances.
So that's something. You can't say that's nothing. He put his heart and soul to the Houston Astros. Maybe if he doesn't see his future with the Red Sox as much, or he doesn't see his future of another team, he might come back home to the Houston Astros and retire as Astro.
Yeah.
You know?
I've seen players like that, where a player leaves and then comes back. That's true. And what do you guys think of this, though, that Fernando Tatis Jr., he is the son of Fernando Tatis, the Hall of Famer. Fernando Tatis Jr., he was a breakout Rookie of the Year player, and then he did this. Then he got busted for steroids. And then, since then, Fernando Tatis Jr. And then, yeah.
What was this?
It was 2022, and he missed the entire season that year due to injury and then steroids. And Fernando Tatis Jr. came back and I made this a promise to my followers and my fans by saying this: if I see Fernando Tatis Jr. come back from steroids and actually hits 20 to 30 home runs and actually stays healthy and does it without using steroids, I would save up for his Padres jersey.
I thought you wanted his jersey.
He's one of my favorite players, and since he's come back from his suspension of that steroids use, he has won a Platinum Glove Award and a Gold Glove and a Silver Slugger, and has had multiple 30, 20 home run seasons. And what is your guys' thought about Tatis coming back from the steroid use and actually has done it without using steroids ever since?
That's actually good.
You use steroids, you should get your award stripped away, but...
Yeah. And what do you guys think of the Phillies this year? Because they lost a lot. They lost a lot of their bullpen arms.
Oh, that's a good thing.
Yeah.
That's a good thing. They don't deserve to win.
I understand that. And for the last...
I feel like, honestly, I agree with Will, but I feel like the Seattle Mariners deserve to win, and I feel like the Miami...
Bro, it's time for the Mariners and the Marlins and the other teams to get a World Series or two.
Yeah.
And also it's been a while since the Yankees did.
Yankees need to.
Okay, as a Yankee fan growing up,
yes,
they have 27 World Series. They really don't need any more, do they, Brandon?
No, they don't. But it would be nice to see them win.
I mean,
okay.
well, if if you hear me out, it's been a while since a New York team won a World Series.
Well, they won in 2000. Yankees won 2009.
It's been a while since a New York team in football brought a championship back to the Big Apple. So
And also, if you guys didn't know, Saquon Barkley has signed a 2-year, $32 million contract extension with the Philadelphia Eagles.
Which he deserved it. He had a phenomenal year with the Eagles when we dog walked on the freaking Chiefs, or should I say, Kansas City Queefs.
That's true, but you know this.
But now it's time to be a Seahawks fan.
Yeah. And last part of the sports interview, guys, I want to know, what do you guys think? What do you guys think of this? Aaron Judge, you think he's going to have 60 home runs this year and win AL MVP again? Or do you think...
I feel like anything is possible, to be honest.
Or do you think the World Series MVP is going to have a big year from the Houston Astros? Or do you think this Adolis Garcia... Or the Adolis Garcia of the Texas Rangers having a World Series MVP championship season where he has over 48 home runs and possibly winning it all again.
I have to say, when it was the Atlanta Braves and the Texas Rangers in that World Series...
No, it was the Diamondbacks and Rangers in 2023.
The Diamondbacks and Rangers. I was so shocked.
2 wild card teams got it.
I was so shocked at 2 wild cards because no one expected Texas Rangers and the Diamondbacks to be in the World Series, to be honest.
That's true.
Everyone was going for the Astros and Phillies that year.
Yeah. But then it was...
I mean, though I do accept the Astros apology.
Yeah, me too.
Though I accept Houston Astros apology for what they did in 2017, I want them to get into the World Series and win and beat the Phillies.
Yeah.
No, the fucking Diamondbacks.
If you understand, it's not just the Houston Astros got accused of cheating in the World Series. They also accused the Red Sox of doing the same thing.
Yeah, then the year after.
Well, that's because
they used their video replay room, which is illegal in baseball.
That's because one of the players on the Red Sox went to the Astros. That's why.
That's
Whoever
true.
was on the Astros went to the Red Sox. That's why they got accused as well.
Yeah.
Even though 2 of the players came from the Red Sox, and then Garrett Cole going to the Yankees, and the Yankees started getting questioned as well.
Yeah. And I do want to say thank you guys for doing this sports interview.
You're welcome.